Hello and welcome. I want to ask you a question. Would you build a house on a rented piece of land? I don't think so. So don't build your business on the land of social media. I want to talk to you today about how to stop putting off your webinar, because what we want to do is to use a webinar, which is the fastest way to grow your list and grow your business with your ideal clients. And a lot of you may be thinking, well, there's a lot of things that I don't know. Maybe it's around the technology, the promotion, designing the webinar. There's a lot of moving parts, but I want to encourage you to start growing your list and your business with webinars. So the first reason I want you to stop putting off your webinar is I want you to, number one, teach, don't sell. And what I mean by this is focus on what's important to your ideal client. What problem is it that they would love to solve in the time that they have together with you? If you know that, and you will know that by asking questions, by connecting with your audience and knowing what it is that they're willing to invest time to resolve. And it's not that you're digging into the pain. What you're offering them is a way to take the first step on a journey. And that time you've got together, you want to be of service. You want to make the information educational and valuable to them so that they show up. The other thing is consider what type of transformation you could create with them in the 45 to 60 minutes that you've got together. So whilst you're painting a longer picture, a longer journey, what you want to do is to give them an outcome, some kind of quick win in the time you've got together. Because when you deliver on that, there's a smooth transition to offer your service as the next logical step. So that's number one. And that is teach, don't sell. Number two is face your fears. I am the best procrastinator known to man or woman. And I recognize in myself that what distracts me from what I really want to do is when I feel uncomfortable or where I feel that I'm not able to do this. And I want you to stare it straight in the face, acknowledge it. And when you acknowledge it, that diffuses its power. And then address it. So we often delay or avoid things around webinars because we have perhaps a lack of competence on all the technology. There's a lot of moving parts with the technology. Perhaps it's the know-how on how to promote your webinar so that you get not only a lot of signups, but live attendance as well. And then if you think of it in the webinar, do you know how to design your webinar so that it flows authentically and with ease and lets you show up and teach as the expert you are? And then think of the next step, which is, converting people to your offer. Is your offer the next logical step? And do you know how to position your offer? If you don't, I'd suggest that you identify which area you feel least comfortable and either make a list of things that you feel uncomfortable about or sit and journal. Some people are list makers, some people like to journal and just keep journaling and free writing. But the bottom line is get support to overcome that. And that might be a blend of what I call instructional design, the design of your website. It's also the promotion. How do you get the promotion right? And also, how do you get the technology? So you basically bring those three things together. So that's number two, face your fear. And then number three is to stop requiring perfection. Hands up, all recovering perfectionists. Here we go. Sheryl Sandberg, the Facebook COO, in her book called Lean In, said done is better than perfect, right? So what we know as perfectionists is that we have a lot of unfinished projects, and that usually is a very strong sign that you're letting perfection get in the way of completing the job. For example, if this is your first webinar, honestly, your audience will never be this small again. So what you're wanting to do is to show up, give yourself compassion that, yes, you may forget to record. Yes, you may have to record it again with no audience. All sorts of things, you know, things do go wrong. Sometimes your internet bandwidth doesn't work, those kind of things. So here's your permission slip. I want you to stop waiting for the perfect webinar where everything is just amazing and just do it. Really, just do it. Think of this approach to webinars as a continuous improvement and virtuous circle. If you've got a child, you know that they had to learn to sit, to crawl, to stand, to walk, to run. Nobody criticized that baby because they couldn't run when they were 9 months old. So I want you to feel like that baby. Go through that process of completing the circle of running your first webinar, running another one, and improving on those processes and the way things turned out, because you're going to then learn and grow each time. And so is your list going to grow each time. So there's no better time to start running your webinar than now. Remember, your list will never be this small again, and you are going to be able to grow. And as you attract more of your ideal clients to the right topics, you're going to see a huge boost to your income as well. Thanks for listening. Bye for now. And remember, let's live the fab life together.